All right, let's get to our first team to grade in the Metro Division, and that is the Carolina Hurricanes. And I'm just going to say right off the bat that you guys were all over me picking this team to win the President's Trophy.
I wasn't.
No, Case was. Sorry, Case.
They're not winning the President's Trophy, so.
Well, I mean, they're like. If the Bruins continue to slide a little bit here,
got him.
if the Bruins continue to slide a bit here and Carolina keeps rolling, it could happen.
Is Carolina rolling? I think they just had their worst month of the season.
They've won 5 games in a row.
Still the worst month of their season, or is that December? It was one of the two.
That's pretty indicative of how good they are, though. If you can,
oh yeah, but they're not as good as Boston. So,
yeah. But it's kind of getting close, though. Is that fair?
Like, it's definitely getting.
I'm about to pump their tires and give them a great grade.
Exactly.
So
anyway, 72 points in 49 games. That's enough of my blabbing. Case. Let's get your grade on the Canes.
I'm going to give them the second A+ I've given out this season. So there you go, Harp. Are you happy? When you talk about this team, like I talked earlier about possession and how you don't need to hit when you have the puck. Well, this is the possession team. They are at the top in every possession metric there is. The puck pursuit, the Corsi, the Fenwick, like all of that. They have the best shot differential in the league, and that's how this team plays. If you have the puck, you're not getting scored on, and it's shown with them. You don't need to be scoring, but you're also not getting scored on when you have the puck. They're 17th in goals, but they're also phenomenal at keeping the puck out of their own net, despite having middling team save percentage, which again shows how good they are at just controlling the game. They have the puck constantly. So it's interesting to watch this team. It's kind of a formula that you don't see a lot throughout the league, and there's not a lot of teams that can do it quite like them. And there's a lot of positives here. There's a lot of their key pieces really showing up, and a new guy, Burns. That Slavin-Burns pair is phenomenal. They've been probably the best pair and most consistent pair in the entire season. I can only come up with one negative, is that their power play is not that good, but that's one of those things that over time will start clicking, and this team's going to continue to roll. So yeah, I have Carolina as an A+.
Yeah, I mean, it's an A for me. I think they've been pretty much everything we've expected. They made a calculated risk in the offseason by bringing in Burns after D'Angelo left for Philly. So, again, it was a calculated risk, but Burns has fit in very, very nicely. Huge add there. They scored by committee. They've had a few players emerge as true offensive threats, like Martin Necas. Has been a legit top 6 contributor this year. Their goaltending, has been fine, despite the fact that normally it's like one of their absolute strengths. This year it's been slightly below average compared to what it normally is. So that's the only reason I'm not giving them an A+. But they've had some other names sneak in there as other productive players too. Like Seth Jarvis is a guy who's scoring at about 0.5 point a game, and Stefan Nason is another player too. So they're getting some good depth scoring from players like that. And I think Aho's the only guy who has over 1 point per game right now. So all of their lines are just rolling the way they want them. I'm giving them an A because I think this is where we expected them to be. And the only reason maybe that they're not an A+ or higher in the standings, in my opinion, is that they don't have Max Pacioretty, who was supposed to be sort of like a savior for them, and then he got hurt again, and we don't really know what the rest of his career is going to look like now with another Achilles injury. But they're doing all of this without Pacioretty or a guy like Andre Kasha, who was again supposed to be another depth contributor to this team. So
I felt so bad when I chuckled when I saw the Pacioretty injury come up, because I feel so bad for the guy and the player, but it just was flashback to one of the big argument pieces was wait until they get Pacioretty back, and then it was 3 games or whatever. And I just saw it. And I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
that's unfortunate, but ironic.
Yeah, it's too bad. And by the way, Harb, off the top, you mentioned that, Case was giving you a bit of flack when you picked Carolina to be like the President's Trophy winners. I remembered that conversation too. Case did have them finishing second in the division. So, like, he was also pretty high on the team going into the season.
Yeah,
and,
I remember Harp almost guaranteeing they were going to win the President's Trophy, and I was like, I don't know about that. Like,
I mean, they are good, and
enough.
Boston's on a skid too, so you never know.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But no, for sure. Funny enough, like as high as I am on the Canes, I'm not giving them as high of a grade as you, Case. I'm going to give them an A as well. I really like Carolina, obviously, and a player for them who does not get talked about enough is their captain, Jordan Staal. Just that reliable veteran, a shutdown center that plays against top lines on most nights, and we just wonder when this team is going to be able to break through in the postseason, and maybe that's this year. Why give them an A instead of an A plus? I think it takes a lot for them to score goals. They have to work so hard to score goals. A little bit like the Islanders, but I mean, there's way more talent and so many more weapons on this hockey team. But they're so good with puck possession. They dump it in. They go and get it. They've got speed and all of that, but they really have to work to score goals, and losing Pacioretty sucks. And so look at them to maybe be in on a Timo Meier or someone else at the deadline who can just give you an easy goal, maybe a Tarasenko, someone like that. And we've heard Rod Brindamore talk about this before, that some nights tonight we just need an easy goal. We just need a quick one to get back into this. So that's why I'm giving them an A, but this is a damn good hockey team.
My question about this team is who starts game one of the playoffs? Because they have three pretty capable goalies, and this year I think it wouldn't be a stretch to say that Kochetkov has been the best of the three. And then, but he's in the minors right now, and then you've got Anderson and Ranta. Ranta hasn't.
I'm going with Anderson.
Yeah, Ranta hasn't been great,
bad,
and Anderson's been just okay. So I really don't know. I think it'll be who's hottest at the time. And I wonder if Kochetkov gets more games before the playoffs. I don't know.
Again, it doesn't matter who's in net when you have the puck the whole time.
True. Very true.